Right, this is what I'm looking for today. Uh, those little crowns embedded in the pavement of the city. Occasionally there's a big one. Don't know where they lead. I know there's lots of gaps because I don't know how long they've been here, but there's lots of gaps when pavements have been replaced or changed. They're about every metre to 2 metres, depending where we are. And I'm going to find them. If I'm doing this explore, see how many cities I can explore this year, well, at some point I need to count the ones close to where I live. And that's why I'm in Newcastle today. I've lived near here for many years. I've worked here on and off for about 10, 15 years, including behind the city wall, up in that window, and down by the quayside. But what counts as exploring? Well, I've always found those, spotted those roundels in different places, the heritage city walk, and wondered where they go and found quite a few of them. But there are gaps because I don't know when they were first put in, um, and I thought it'd be fun to follow them, not looking up and knowing what the route it really is and what passes. But already I've lost track of them because most of all they stop at a junction. That's where the pavement's been replaced. They've been taken out, and it's not been in the work schedule to keep the little roundels there. But hey, it's still this way of exploring the city. Already know there's this tiny Chinese garden. Yeah, I thought by the city wall I might repoint. Oh no! Wow! And there's if on cue, there's one there. So yeah, didn't expect it to come up here alongside the city wall. So this is going to be a great way of exploring the city. My battery on my phone's already run out. See into the city wall, into one of the towers. Not that exciting. Knowing the city well, I know can be a bit of rubbish. These are the west walls. Little notice board there. Now, do we pop through city wall? Can I see the next roundel? Who knows? Definitely takes me to that spot. This is the trouble. We're doing some urban exploring. Yeah, some psychogeography here. Now I've lost them. But I'll keep walking along the city wall and see what I find. Hey, Newcastle's even got a moat. I'll explore. I'm hoping within the next hour I'll probably have to find somewhere for lunch because I set out quite late. I can smell some Chinese though, because we're in Chinatown. Yeah, I don't actually know where I'm going to find the next roundel. Don't know what I'll explore, what I'll find. It's going to be one of those days. That was a big gap, and even here they're not in line. There's holes where they're missing, which might get filled in, so it's quite hard to follow. I probably need a better plan if I lose them. Then so far it's just like trying to rack my brain where I think I've seen them. That's not going to last long. I think if I get a long gap again and I don't know where I'm going, can't re-find it, the first plan is just go somewhere for lunch, call it quits, go for lunch. Next plan, and maybe I'll re-pick up yeah, there's not going to be an easy way. I did start at Central Station. I know they go out another way, so I could go back there. Another plan, I guess, is to get the bus to Eastbourne, because I know there's good pubs. People always talk about the pubs in Eastbourne, just outside Newcastle Centre. But yeah, the next spot is Church's Monument Wall. I think that's pointing to the wall we just saw. Or is it Church's? Is it Monument? Is it Wall? No, Monument's in the other direction. Don't even know what the large roundels do. But yeah, that's my first. We're at Eldon Garden now. Tiny bit of green space in the middle of Eldon Square Shopping Centre. And I think we go against this arrow to Monument. Surprisingly, I lost the trail right by Grace Monument, but I can't sit down there. There's some sort of protest or meeting going on. Socialist workers, women's resistance. They didn't make it clear. They're talking about Ukraine at the moment. I'm just going to continue on. Yeah, hopefully we'll find something here. Who knows? Yeah, I expected a larger roundel. You know, everyone knows Gray's Monument. Great place to meet. Don't really know much about Mr. Gray, Lord Gray. And didn't see an information board to tell me any more. So this isn't a very good history lesson so far. I don't think I've ever been into a museum no, I have been into a museum in Newcastle, of course. I've gone with my godson a couple of times. The Discovery Museum, great fun. A bit worn out. They need someone just to re-stick on the labels for the interactive. Yeah, there's also the Great North Hancock Museum. Loads of artefacts. A bit slower pace, but interesting to see what's there. And then we get on to Northumberland Street. Apparently it's called Monument Mall. Shops, but also lots of interesting, how do you call them, street performers. That's the word. I think a guy's about to run through a ring of knives. Well, I've well and truly lost the trail of the roundels of the Heritage Trail. I thought there was a big one somewhere here near Haymarket or the Civic Centre, but I've already done one loop and been unable to find it. For those that are interested in visiting, watch out for the uneven paving. But also Haymarket is an interesting place. Got Haymarket Metro and come up the shops. Easy enough to walk from Central Station. But you got the Newcastle University campus. I've ended up there for lots of things, talks, events, shows. You've got over in that corner, that one, yep, that building tucked away. That's the Hancock Museum, or the Great British North Museum. And as I say, that's a nice free entry place. Lots of artifacts, lots of stuffed animals, a bit about the Romans. For a 4.5-year-old, it was just about interesting. The event got into it. But yeah, there's many big churches that are interesting. Not been in this one. Might go in a church later, because I know one of the cathedrals has quite a nice cafe. But I'm here for lunch. There's also the Civic Centre, which interesting architecture. Yeah, very interesting. I have spotted it in the odd TV show, but I've never actually been in there for anything, which is surprising, given all the places I've been to in Newcastle. Um, and there's a nice pub that I think still exists, the Mean Eye Cat, for some nice small unusual brews. It's in a kind of basement. I'm going to go to the Five Swans because I need some lunch to keep me going, to Weatherspoons, which isn't that great, but you know what you're getting. And I might try and see if I can charge my phone up a bit while I'm there, so we can, so everything's charged. But yeah, oh, also, there's a road beside it, I don't know the name of this road, but that might have some roundels possibly, or take me back to Central Station and bits where I know there's a trail in the other direction from Central Station. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens in after lunch. Yeah, no roundels at John Dobson Street. He was an architect in the 1800s. They're knocking down a lot of. Is that new? Yeah, no, that's old. Yeah, Newcastle's going through knocking down a lot of its buildings that are 100 years old or so, 7 stories high and more. There used to be lots of walkways crisscrossing Newcastle at like a floor or 2 floors above ground level. Anyway, I went back a bit towards city centre, found another roundel. I guess it says Newcastle upon Tyne Heritage Trails. I guess there's several, and I've rejoined the church's one that clearly goes back towards Monument. Go around this corner. Oh yeah, I see some here, and we're heading down towards the river. Um, Possibly I'm going backwards on these arrows, but yeah, we're possibly going towards one of the cathedrals, I think. We'll see. Well, we'll see if they don't run out. So I came down that road. There was only one on the corner, and actually not clear as to go down that road. Looking around, there's lots of these seating areas, and I was right to look between two because there's a hole there, and just before the seating area, find another roundel, which I think means we go down here. I've very much lost to those roundels for the City Heritage Tour. Um, but classic, when you're exploring a city, if in doubt, go towards the river. Normally it's a central point and interesting. And that's what I've done. So Newcastle Quayside, always quite vibrant and interesting. You can look at the many bridges, if nothing else, and enjoy a break, or there's a few bars there. Across the river isn't actually part of Newcastle. It's Gateshead. It's got some big venues there. Classic is to be performing in the Sage and say, "Welcome, Gateshead," or "It's nice to be in." Sorry, it's nice to be in Newcastle, and all the locals know that you're not in Newcastle. You're in Gateshead. Um, but hey, good venues. I do want to make one mention to the Baltic Art Gallery, just over the Millennium Bridge. The Millennium Bridge is this white one that flips to allow high boats to go past. But you walk over that, or walk over any of the other bridges, get to the Baltic Flour Mill, which has an art gallery in. Free art gallery, most of it's free. Really nice to go into that, pop into that on a lunch break, and see whatever they've got in there. It's very quite a bit, as art galleries do. There's also, yeah, you can see there's a platform you can go up, or just go up in the lifts and view over um, the quaysides of Newcastle and Gateshead. Um, there's loads of, they're not seagulls, are they a type of gull? They're kittiwakes. Uh, yeah, they're endangered, so we can't get too upset with them on they're totally on the Baltic. Um, but yeah, also, I mean, it never feels bright by the sea here, but you can smell it. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna walk along as far as Eastburn, which I think's technically out of the city centre maybe, but I'm done exploring the heritage trail. Um, I think I've taken lots of photos. Um, yeah, it's not far from home, but I still took photos. I'll probably show you those so you can enjoy them.